Dear sports friends, hello everyone, I'm Andras from Hungary. I moved to Szentendre, only 30 kilometers from Budapest, for about 12 years. Szentendre is a nice little town, a favorite destination for tourists in summer. However, during the last 12 years, I've come to the conclusion, based on my own experience, that the Bermuda Triangle is not somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, but right here in the area, and that the epicenter is probably our town, Szentendre. I will now describe the almost supernatural phenomena that led me to this conclusion. In the comments, tell me how you see this from what you have heard. As you can see from my previous videos, I love skiing. We have been skiing in Kreuzberg, Austria every year from Christmas to January 4th for almost 30 years now. After 10 days of skiing, we come home happy and with all the problems forgotten. And so it was on January 4th, 2012. Despite the bitter cold, the roads were clear, and we entered our house in the early afternoon in a cheerful mood. We were shocked to find the house very cold and the automatic gas boiler not working. For some reason it was switched off and the entire heating system was frozen except for one radiator. This was our luck, as we managed to defrost the whole system by the morning. Of course, we slept in winter coats and hats. Perhaps it was at the dawn of our love affair that my wife and I cuddled so tightly. In 2013, I left nothing to chance. Before leaving, I had the gas boiler carefully checked by an excellent mechanic and purchased a Wi-Fi thermostat that could be controlled remotely from a mobile phone. This way I could check the temperature in the house and whether the gas boiler was working from Austria. We were toasting with New Year's champagne at exactly midnight when I looked at my phone and was shocked to see that the heating had stopped at exactly midnight. I quickly phoned home to my brother, who came to our house the next day and turned the system back on in time. In 2014, I installed a camera in the apartment and used it to monitor the gas boiler. During the heating season, the gas boiler did not switch off once, so I had every reason to believe that everything would be fine. Well, no. At exactly the same time, at midnight, the fault occurred. On the camera, I could see the LED display on the appliance start to flash red and the boiler stopped. I again alerted my relatives, who again turned the appliance back on. The same phenomenon repeated itself every year. On New Year's Eve, when the clock struck 12, the gas boiler turned off. In the early days, we used to alert relatives, friends or neighbors. Later on, as the weather became milder, there was no need to do so because there was no longer any risk of the heating system freezing. At first we were annoyed, but now we try to take a humorous view of things. When the midnight countdown is on, we monitor the gas boiler via the camera. We don't greet the new year as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, but as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boiler off, and at exactly 12 at night the boiler turns off. It has never let us down. This year, when we entered the house, we were in for another annoying surprise. There was a constant, annoyingly loud banging noise from upstairs and downstairs. There were 5 of us in the house, and we all came to the conclusion that the apartment alarm was faulty. We quickly looked up the instructions online and tried to disable the alarm. We tried in vain for an hour and a half because the loud beeping was continuous. I then went up to the roof and disconnected the alarm battery and disconnected the alarm from the power source, but all in vain. We were getting discouraged when we suddenly discovered that the source of the noise was 2 carbon monoxide detectors. One was located upstairs and the other downstairs. The battery died in both at the same time. After that, we started to believe in supernatural forces. But that's not all. As you can see from my previous videos, we also go skiing on the glacier in Hintertux in spring and autumn. At this time of year, you no longer have to worry about the heating going off. The camera is placed so that we can see from a distance what's going on in the house. Well, at 12 midnight on the first day of our spring and autumn skiing trips, the camera image disappears and the power to the apartment is cut off. The first time we had to deal with the freezer melting down and having to throw out most of the food, but now we're more careful. We empty the freezer and are not harmed. But the electricity is cut off every time. I should also mention that in Hungary in general and in Szentendre, the electricity supply is very reliable. There is practically never a power cut, only when we go skiing in spring and autumn. To add to the horrors, the last 4 times we have arrived from one of these spring and autumn ski trips, we have found a dead field mouse on the doorstep of the front door, on the mat. It was brought there by a stray cat that we sometimes feed. So there you have it, my dear friends. Until now I did not believe in UFOs or any other supernatural phenomena, but now I seem to be wavering in that regard. If you liked the story, then comment, subscribe to my channel, and like me, I wish you all the best.